Hello, everyone. This is New Vegas Ranger once again, and we are back with another Talking Thursday. Um, I know I said that I was going to talk about gaming during these Talking Thursdays, but I kind of wanted to branch out as well because I get the feeling that that's kind of going to wear out after a while. So I'm going to start. I'm also going to talk about my second biggest thing, and that is anime. I'm also a big anime fan. So I decided that I've just recently began to start watching Naruto again. Yeah, Naruto. We're gonna talk about Naruto. If you don't like it, go ahead and leave. Uh, although, so I've recently started watching that again, and it's something that kind of either you really like it or you really don't. That's what I get from anime fans. Either they're like, "Oh, Naruto's actually really good. I like it a lot," or that Naruto's the worst anime they have ever seen. And they have very legit problems with this, and I can kind of see it. One of the ones I've heard a lot is that no, they don't like the character Sasuke. They don't like Sasuke. And as a Naruto fan, I am a Naruto fan. I've always been a fan of the series, not as much the first one, more of Shippuden. But I will say this as a fan of Naruto, I'm complete in agreement. I hate Sasuke. I don't like him as a character at all. And I kind of want, and this is what the vlog is going to be about today. I'm going to talk to you all about why Sasuke is not a good character. So let's first start with the common complaint. He's an emo. Yeah, he kind of is. He kind of is a whiny emo. I know everybody's like, well, he got his fan. Okay, spoilers before we get into this. In case you haven't seen Naruto, spoilers because I'm gonna have to go into spoiler territory to explain why this character is not very good. So so we got that out of the way. Everybody's like, well, and people are trying to defend his actions. They're like, oh, well, he had his family killed. He got his family killed by his brother. Well, that's fine and dandy. You can have a revenge plot, but the problem is that he just never shuts up about it. That constant talking about it, always complaining about it. I bet if you took like half the lines from Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, it would just be him either whining about how no one understands him, how how he wants to kill his brother, or how he wants to avenge his family. That's almost all he ever talks about. Like I really don't remember him talking about anything else to anyone ever. He doesn't he doesn't even have like any fun time. He's a I know, and people again, it's a sad thing happened to him. I'm not saying he doesn't have a legit reason for acting the way he does, but it's the fact of how much he acts of it, how much he does it. It's just nonstop, constant. It is constant whining about what happened to him. And it wears on you. You don't want to listen to it anymore after a while. And there's this big thing where he's just like, no one understands me, and I call bullshit crap immediately. I'm starting to get pissed off because I almost cussed. I'm calling bull crap on that because I remember there's a scene in Naruto where Sasuke and Naruto are fighting. At the very end, he goes, "You don't understand what happened to me. You never had a family to lose." Excuse me. I would like to point out that Naruto has been alone for almost all of his life. And after your family died, you were alone. You guys have a lot more in common than you think. And Naruto knows that. That's one of the reasons why he always runs around trying to say, I'm going to save Sasuke, because he knows they have a lot in common. I wish Sasuke would pick up on that, because he's this. He doesn't think he's all alone in this, and that's really not right. And people are like, well, it see, I'm running out of words because it just bothers me how much he just does this. So he tries to go to Orochimaru to try to get help to fight his brother. Okay, that one makes sense because he's just wanting to get revenge on his brother. That's not a very stupid, like, I'm not gonna complain about that one. That's something that's a plot that should have happened. What I am going to complain about is how he is like, what he just never stops talking about his brother. And you can obviously tell Itachi has moved on from what he's done. Well, he seems to have moved on. Again, I have not watched all the series. I'm not completely up to date, but he seems to have moved on from what he's done. But Sasuke never really let it go. And I know you're gonna be like, well, Itachi's a cold person. He's heartless. Yeah, that may be true, but at the same time, he's distanced himself. That's what he's done. So, and Sasuke kind of needs to do the same thing if he wants to get anywhere to Itachi's level. He has to kind of forget what happened. He has to not forget it. He has to let it go. He has to realize that if he's going to get revenge on his brother, he has to get moved past trying to get the revenge act and try and like beating his brother would probably be way better of a purpose because it would harm people less because he's harming a lot of people on the way to try to beat his brother. He's harmed quite a bit of people, mostly because you need to do this for revenge purposes. Well, I don't think that really works well. And it's just he's losing like sight of being a good person. And I know that's supposed to be kind of a thing where he got turned to the dark side by Orochimaru. The problem is that he wasn't really on the good side to begin with. He never really was. I mean, he was never on the good side. If he was he was like Naruto, and he was super gung ho about doing the right thing and doing good things. Maybe I could let it go a little bit more. Maybe I could forgive him for his dark side movement. But the fact that he was pretty much there already before he even came onto the series, it it doesn't show a very good reaction. It's just all he took was like a little bit of nudging. It wasn't even a hardcore turn. It was just kind of like Murkimar just kind of nudged him, and that's it. So I think that could have gone a little bit better. Now, the second biggest thing I want to say about why Sasuke's behavior really makes me mad is because I'm going to use two examples, and one of them is actually going to be from Naruto. I'm going to use two other characters from other animes that had something very similar happen to them, and I'm going to explain why Sasuke's reactions are not very good. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the one I know a little bit less about, and that one's Vash the Stampede from Trigun. I've recently started watching Trigun, and I know something very similar happened to him that happened to Sasuke. I will admit at this point I have not reached that big reveal, but I know about it. Something similar happened to his parents that happened to Sasuke. Somebody killed his parents. But here's the thing about that. When Vash is not a whiner about it. If you watch Vash, he's gullible, he's funny, he's playful. He's purposely trying to let it go. He's let this thing go. And if it rears its head again, he goes after it only then. He doesn't seek it. He has let what happened go. He's gone to peace with it. And the fact that he's done that makes him a lot more mature than Sasuke. Because it's also kind of childish that Sasuke's never let it go. He's never moved on. It would be different if Itachi started showing back up in his life and started like prodding and poking him about what happened. No, he sought out Itachi. He's seeking out his brother to get revenge. Revenge is a dish best served cold. It's never going to end well. And I think it would just be better if he let it go in my opinion. If he let it go and let Itachi, if Itachi appeared and started causing problems, I could kind of understand that anger coming back out. And in that case, I would have let it go. In that case, I would have been like, okay, that's a good reason, and, I would have let it go ahead and play out. But the fact that he's harming other people to get at his brother, it's not making him any better than his brother. You know, and again, I will say this: I have not completed the Naruto Shippuden series, so maybe some gigantic revelation comes along later in the series, and he realizes this and he changes. But at this point in the series, at where I am, he's not really coming across as a very good person. Um, the second character I really want to talk about is Gara, the sand, the person from the sand who's actually one of my favorite characters in anime itself. Gara is one of my favorite characters. Um, Look at what's happened to Gara. If you look at his backstory, he has a far worse backstory than uh Sasuke has ever had. You know, first of all, he has a Naruto happen. He's there Naruto, so he's already lonely by that standard. His father his father gives up on him. Like his father completely just doesn't want anything to do with him. His mother's dead. So yeah, that sounds about the same as Sasuke's to an extent. I mean, yeah, his father's alive, but if he wants nothing to do with him, then it's gonna be basically the same thing as he's dead. Then Gaara gets put into the care of a caretaker. His entire time, and this is the only really contact he ever has, because people are scared of him. Because again, Naruto, him and Gaara are kind of pretty similar. They're scared of the demon, and then and he gets older, and it just gets worse. I mean, okay, and this was like one of the reasons why I really liked Gaara, because he has such a tragic backstory, and he takes it. And people are like, well, Gaara's whiny too. He's like, no, Gaara's not whiny. Gaara's just threatening. He does not care. There's a big difference, and I may explain why I think Gaara's not emo and Sasuke is later. I might explain that in another video, but let me put it this way: Gaara's not an emo. He's just more of a dark person. I wouldn't even call him emo because he doesn't whine about what happened to him. I mean, we kind of basically had to you had to pry open information about Gaara. He's not whining about it. He's not up in your face about what happened to him. So I don't call Gaara emo. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So and then Gaara gets put in the case of a caretaker, and this caretaker is the only person he ever really knows. Then his father decides, okay, he's too much dangerous. We're just going to kill him. So they send an assassin to kill him. And guess who the assassin is? The caretaker. He kills the only person that really ever tried to try to interact with him. And then, the caretaker drops this bombshell. He never liked him from the beginning and hated him the entire time he was taking care of him. I just mean, this. Gaara's got crap piled onto him, and it's nothing compared to Sasuke. And look how Gaara takes it. You know, Gaara is not whining about he's he just kind of goes. He's very dark, but with what happened to him, would you be a lot of joy? I mean, that's a pretty lot to take. And again, I don't think Gaara is really emo. I think it's just kind of dark. So, and then even then though, he meets Naruto and he changes around. He starts being more friendly and starts helping people. And so he learns from his mistakes. He learns from Sasuke never learns from his mistakes. He never learns from them. He keeps constantly doing them, making the same mistakes over and over and over again, just nonstop. And that's the big problem. And I'll say this again. I have not been too far in the series. He probably has learned his lesson at some point, and he'll probably start changing around. I know he probably will, but at this point, and again, I might want to point out where I am in this series. I where I was at the series was right after when I really stopped watching it, mostly because I kind of ran out of places to watch it. Because it was when it stopped running on my circulation. You had to go online to get it, and at the time I really didn't know how to do that because I was kind of young when this came on. I mean, I was just starting to figure out the internet. I didn't realize what Hulu or Netflix was. Anyway, what I really stopped the point where I stopped in the series, I stopped watching and I didn't really pick anything back up for a while, for a really long time until right now. It was when I think there was some where they had the girl with the girl or boy. I'm really not sure if that thing was a girl or boy who had the three tails. I think it was the three tails, and they were summoning it from the swamp looking thing. I don't know entirely certain but that's where I stopped. And so at that point, Sasuke had not made any really good changes. He had not done anything better. He was still very anti everything. And something that really bothers me is the fact that how he's attacking his friends. He knows there is no he's trying to distance himself from them. I know he is, but the problem is that it's not going to work. They're his friends, and he knows they're his friends. You can't I'd have a better situation if he kind of kept trying to run away and push him away. But the fact that he actively attacks Naruto and he actively attacks Sakura and Kakashi, I always forget his name, Kakashi. The fact that he actively attacks them, I really don't like because I know he's trying to come across as I don't want to be near you guys, leave me alone. You could just tell them that, or better yet, when don't try to kill them. You could okay, I will say that he could attack them, but he doesn't. But he causes like serious, almost causes serious harm to Naruto. You know, it all you could have done was rough them up and made them learn, and just kept telling them, "Leave me alone." You didn't have to almost try to kill Naruto. That what was the point in that? He's your friend. He's coming after you. He's trying to help you. Why would you kill him? I don't understand that. You don't want to be like your brother, yet out of nowhere you just suddenly decide, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to kill Naruto." It just the way he acts, I don't like it. It's such a big problem that a lot of the series is looking for him because I don't care about him. He whines, he's constant. I just It wears on you to hear. And I know people go into the series where I know if you jump into the series, you won't understand what I'm talking about. Where it wears on you. Watch all of Naruto, then start watching Shippuden. And anyone who's watched it like me will realize that Sasuke begins to wear because, and this is the third major thing with this character that I really bothers me. He is completely one-dimensional. There is nothing that name one characteristic other than the fact he wants to kill his brother, that he wants revenge. Name one thing. Name one thing that you can think of that he has done. I can't. That's all he ever wants to do is just to revenge. That's his entire thing. He doesn't show any compassion. He doesn't show any care. He doesn't show that he wants to be friends with people or that he's dealing with his problems. He just constantly whines about it. And that's one of the major reasons why I have a problem with this character. He is so one dimensional, and he does not deserve the time that is given to him. If he was if he tried to put off more characteristics, I could probably let all this revenge stuff go. But the fact that that's all he ever talks about, and all he ever does, and it's all he ever thinks about, and it's all you ever know him for in the series, it doesn't make for a good character. He's not a good character. I don't like him. Okay, I put on my newsman fedora, and you know what that means. It's time for the channel update. The major thing to talk about at first. The Wacky Adventures of San Diego has been temporarily stopped. And the reason for this is that there is a program that is needed to run for the mods in Fallout New Vegas called New Vegas Script Extender. I don't know how it does it, but you need it to run mods. And where New Vegas was recently updated, the software does not work with the new updated version. So I have to wait for them to make a New Vegas script extender that works with the new version before I can start playing it again. Because at the moment, I try to go past the main screen and it crashes. That's all that happens. So I don't know how long that'll take. I think it normally. I'm trying to remember the last time. I think it took about maybe a month or so after the update was released when they were able to put out the next one. So, with that being said, this has been postponed indefinitely. But the minute I'm checking this almost every single day because the minute they put out this program, I'll get it up and running and I'll record a new video for you guys. Um, Second biggest thing about the channel, and this is update about the review. I've started seriously writing the script. I got some of it done. I'm gonna start trying to record some. I've started trying to record some software. Well, not software. Some game footage for you guys. I don't know how long this is really gonna be. I think it's gonna be longer than 15 minutes. I'm probably gonna split it up into segments. I don't know how long it will go, but I got the first game down. I got two others lined up that I really want to do, and I'm gonna try to start working on this as hard as I can. Um, I want to get this done before the end of July. And I know that's like 30 days, and I know people are like, oh, wow, that's a lot of time. I was like, I know, but you guys gotta understand, this is kind of a side project for me, these reviews. So I am putting time into them. I'm just not putting like all my daytime into it. I'm doing, because again, this is a Let's Play channel. So I'm doing more, I'm working on Let's Plays, I'm working on that review, and I'm also trying to start getting stuff for a new channel I'm going to be doing. But I'll talk about that later when I have stuff set up a little bit more for that. So that's kind of your update for today. Not a very long one. As I said to you guys, this video was a lot less longer than the E3 one. So I hope you guys could like bear with me and watch this one a little bit more. So with that, this is for today. This is New Vegas Ranger signing off.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, you can go ahead and check out my channel and subscribe. Keep updates about what videos I put out. You can also check out my Twitter, where I normally put up updates about the channel as well. Finally, check out my Twitch channel, where I normally host daily live streams. Thanks for watching.